Hi everybody, welcome back today. Those were some really good videos that we made yesterday. If you weren't here, you're still going to get the chance to respond to other people's videos, so hang around and we can talk about making up the creation of your own video at a future time. So what we did yesterday, just to recap, is watch Adichie's TED Talk and then use what we learned from her about speaking in an academic setting and about presentation in order to build our response to the content of her talk. So we responded to what we thought about her ideas and about her concepts concerning the single story, but then we recorded ourselves presenting them in a TED Talk style way, so that way we could practice speaking in an academic context. I watched all the videos. They were awesome. You guys did an excellent job. After we recorded those videos, then we sat down and individually started going through our partner's video and fixing captions as needed through our YouTube uploads. That way, when we go today to look at each other's videos and give each other some peer response feedback, we're going to be able to fall back on the captions if we're having trouble understanding what we're hearing. So that brings us into our activity. We are going to work individually at the computers in just a few minutes. So you're working individually. And what you're going to do while you're working is respond to 5 of your peers. 5. I know that sounds like a lot, but remember, our videos were only about 2 minutes long a piece. Some people went a little bit under that, some people went a little bit over, but generally speaking, 5 should be pretty doable during our class time. So you're going to respond to 5 peers. And you'll see that when you log on and go into our Canvas page, I've already broken down which responses every person is responsible for, which means that you need to respond to whoever is on your list of 5. And I want to do that so that way everybody gets a fair amount of feedback, an equal amount of feedback. If there's extra time, if you find that you finish your responses earlier, then I would urge you to watch any other classmate of your choice and kind of explore their videos and see if you can give them some additional feedback. So at the very least, everybody is going to get a few points of feedback. Some people, if they're lucky, might get a little bit extra for those that finish early. So let's go ahead and talk about what we're doing for that peer response, how that's going to look. So we're working individually and we're responding to 5 peers, and that response should be giving your peers feedback about their speaking and their presentation style. So just like yesterday, where we were really practicing good active listening, we're going to want to practice active listening again. We made captions yesterday, and it's up to you whether to have those captions on, but the goal of this is not to read what is being said, but rather to look at the person doing the speaking and to listen to how they're saying things. Think about things like their volume, the speed of their speech, the way that they're adding emphasis on things. Some of you laughed, because generally when we say emphasis, we emphasize a certain syllable. We don't say emphasis or emphasis. We have a certain way of constructing words that goes along with all of the weird rules of our language, because English is messy. But be listening for these things. Be listening for any discrepancies. Be listening for really good things. And if there are some trouble areas, let your author know, or let your speaker rather know, that those trouble areas exist and what they might do to try and fix those. And if you have a strategy for fixing those, let them know that too. Something more than just keep practicing. Ideally, we're all going to keep practicing. That's why we're here in this class. So we're responding to our 5 peers, and the way that we're responding is we're paying attention to their communication. So pay attention to communication. And that's going to require, like we said, that's going to require active listening. For each of these peers, I'm going to ask that you give them 2 things that they're doing really well, 2 compliments. So we're going to want to give 2 compliments, and then I'm going to ask that you also give them 2 points of feedback, 2 critiques, 2 constructive critiques. We are going to be using the comment feature on YouTube to give our compliments and our critiques. And the reason that we're going to do that is because I think it can be valuable, not just to see what you're doing well and what you could improve on, but what others are doing well and what they can improve on. We are in the middle of the semester. We all know each other by first name. We know stuff about each other. So I know that sometimes it can be nerve-wracking to be critiqued in a public space, but I think that here it can be especially beneficial because we're trying to really hone in our speaking skills, and we're trying to get a sense of the type of academic speaking that we hear on a regular basis at this college. So being able to access these comments and being able to go through your peers' videos and use what they're doing well as a way to bolster your own work, but also be able to see what they struggle with that you might also struggle with as a way to sort of navigate and figure out how you're going to combat those issues can be super, super important. Now that we have got all of this down, let's go ahead and get to our computers, and then I will be around to answer any questions that you have. Remember, you need to go onto your Canvas page in order to figure out who you will be responding to. Let's do it.